Something's all right.
What? There's something. All order, regular board meeting, May 6, 2026, 7 p.m. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Here.
Trustees, Rick Wheelan.
Here.
David Benson Jr.
Here.
Matt Drosky.
Here.
Dan Carey.
Here.
Ron Zandvigin.
Here.
John Buckley.
Here.
Attorney Bryce Whitfield.
Here.
Chief Woody Hall. Brian Rader.
Here.
Clerk Caseyville present.
I need a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes and committee meeting minutes from April 15, 2026.
Make a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from April 15th, 2026. Second.
Nick?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
John? President. Okay, Rhonda? She's with Republic, it's our trash service. She's going to give us an update.
Yes. Well, thanks for inviting me back here. I'm Rhonda Breslin. I work with Republic Services. I am what you call a municipal sales manager, and I take care of all the municipal services for many towns. So I'm here to talk to the council about some things they asked me to prepare for this meeting, to let you know what price it would be if we decided to extend in December. So currently, the city has, or the village has, mandatory trash service, optional yard waste, and optional recycle. And including in your trash, you get, your bulk and your appliance removal. What this village wanted to see is what the current option would be, leaving it the same. And if we left it the same as regular trash, mandatory trash and optional recycle, we would no longer offer yard waste due to there's only 16 people in town using it right now. So there's not a lot of, it doesn't make sense kind of for us as a business that run when sometimes it may be out and sometimes it may not be out, for those that are here. So I have the first page of what Tamara gave you is what it would be if we had kept everything the same. Mandatory, you see what the new rate would be compared to what it is now. If you saw our new presidential rate, it shows the current trash rate is at 13.05 and it would go up to $17 a month. And I can tell you that a lot of towns are averaging in that between high 16 to $20 just for trash. That's what a lot of towns are getting right now. If we went to optional recycle, right now we only have 323 participants that participate in the recycle program in the town. In St. Clair County, it is not mandatory to recycle, but I have towns like Swansea that makes it mandatory. There are other towns that, I think Belleville does it, and O'Fallon has recycle. I don't know if O'Fallon's is mandatory, but so I have an optional figure here if they want to continue that way at $10 per month. And then, of course, the senior rate is available for those that are 62 years age and older at 15% of the trash rate. The senior rate only goes towards trash. It doesn't go towards recycle or, the yard waste. So it just figures to the trash service. And that's a good discount. A lot of towns, you should thank your city for that, or your village council, because a lot of cities only do 5 or 10%. So 15% discount is a great discount for seniors. And that rate would be just $14.45 a month. So that's kind of what it would be if we left it the same. So if we turn to the next page, the next option that was asked of us was to make trash and recycle mandatory for everyone in town. So everybody would get a new card at no cost, those who don't use it. But it would be all one price for trash and recycle. And that would come up to $20.07 a month, or $60.21 a quarter for trash and recycle. I have shared with the mayor and Tamara and some other folks what other cities are paying. They are paying anywhere between $20 and $29 a month. So, for instance, Highland is paying, say, around $30, but they have other services included. That's yard waste, that's weekly bulk, that's mandatory trash and recycle. And Alton is the same. They're right around $30 for all 4 services. And then the senior discount off the mandatory trash and recycle would be $11.09 plus the recycle of $7.02, so it'd be right around $18.11 for seniors a month if we made that mandatory, those 2 services. And then the last option the city wanted me to get pricing for, and it is for mandatory trash, recycle, and yard waste. So it would be one price that all the residents would pay, whether you use yard waste or not. It is a good thing. I don't know what day that would be on or anything. It would probably be similar to what we have it now. But that monthly price for mandatory all 3 services would come to a month at $25.50. The senior rate would be $23.78. And again, remember the senior discount is only on the trash rate. And if I broke it down, the yard waste would only be it's much cheaper than what it is right now. So if you have yard waste now, I don't know if I have that figure, but if you had it mandatory, that price for yard waste goes to $6 a month. So I think it drops almost half than what it is now in the contract. We want to encourage everyone to use the yard waste service. And of course, the yard waste only goes from April 1 to December 31st. Is there any questions from anyone?
Yeah, is there any consideration to the costs for a single person family compared to a multiple person family? Because obviously there's a huge difference in waste.
No, none of our cities have that option. If there's more than, I'm not sure, if you're considering, like a mom and dad and then their daughter, son-in-law, and kids, if you're thinking something like that.
Yeah, because the service includes one container, right?
Right, so the second container, you can get a second container,
Right.
and that would be $15. You can get $15 a quarter, so $5 a month extra for an extra can.
Okay, we need to talk after the meeting. Because I got a second container and I'm paying 45.
Keep paying.
You know what probably happened is they probably didn't attach your second can to the contract rate, so you're getting open. Are you close to the edge of town by chance? Are you close to like outside city limits by chance where you live?
Yeah, I'm close to outside city limits.
Okay,
You
so-
gotta go through, you gotta go outside of city limits to get to my house.
But your house is in city limits.
So my house is.
So it could be something that I need to fix the map and then and get it fixed. But I'd be happy to do that.
Okay.
I'm happy to add senior.
happy-
I'm happy to add
I'll be happy
senior
to
rates
pay
now
less.
too.
Yeah. It's 62, not 65.
I know, I wrote you 62. I thought I had to
What
help
do your
somebody.
competitors, you, Janet, you guys know this game, so do you guys shop around and see what your competitors cost?
Yes, I have a form that I can send and they can send it out to you. I've got, I may have shared
I
that.
called Aspen, and Aspen's about $120 a quarter just for trash. For Caseyville.
120 just for a quarter. Okay. Yeah, I know they're up in the Godfrey area. They're only offering trash up there, and I know they're very good. But I did not call because my number probably would say one thing.
Well, I just wanted the cost comparison, that's quite staggering, 120 every 3 months.
That's just for trash only.
For your yard waste, would that be 8 bags or just the container that you provide, or
Well,
what's
see
that?
that, we provide a container that counts as 3 bags.
Okay.
So-
If I have extra, though, say I do yard cleanup one weekend, will you guys take extra if it's available or no?
I would call ahead and ask first.
I know I'm sure
We
that's
have
not-
talked about having, which I think there is an event coming up. Is that for yard waste or is that for cleanup? Cleanup, that's for cleanup. So if you let me know ahead of time, and if it's just a few bags, I can get it okay.
I was example Troy, you do 8 bags a week. They're obviously every contract's different.
Yes, it is, yeah. There's some that are unlimited that put out 100 bags a week. If you think about St. Louis Street and Edwardsville with all those streets. There's a lot of yard waste bags, so,
I have a question for you. Is this going to be set up like it was before on that 5-year plan?
that's up to the council to decide.
And it just increased a little bit every year, which was great, you know.
It's a set increase, and I had a 5-year, on a 10-year option, with no 5-year option. Just, the good thing about that is you don't have to go through this every time, plus it also helps knowing what, for budgeting, so they know each year for the budget, and then if there's, like when COVID happened, how the diesel fuel is right now. So some contracts have it in there that the only time you can come back to the village to ask for an increase is if like diesel gets over, say, $6. So there is language you can put in the contract to protect yourself, and I would encourage doing that. But the price increase that you have is a fixed price increase, but you never know what's going to happen. So, with the industry, with COVID, a lot of stuff changed, but we didn't really increase anybody's in a contract once they're in it, but we may have an ask, and you don't have to do it, so.
I have a question for you. So with the recycling, which by the way I think should be mandatory, but with the recycling, when it's contaminated, an entire truck can be dumped in the landfill. So can you all provide ongoing and recurrent training for our citizens so that we all know exactly how to separate our garbage from our recycling?
We have flyers for that, and
An educational session,
I would come in and speak here. I would go to a Rotary Club. I would go to a church group.
library.
Yeah, library would definitely. I can do that anytime. I'm open to that. So I do it a lot. So also I can invite. Well, the council has came on a recycle tour over in Hazelwood. We are building another great big new facility over there because our other one in South City is such rough shape. So, and then I can also provide, if you want to see how, if you start the program and make it mandatory, I can provide quarterly or yearly reports just so you guys can see the tonnage of how much or how little that we're collecting for just your town. So we do offer those reports like that. It shows how much trash tonnage, how much recycle. So that's something that you can kind of see if it grows. You know, after, it's going to take a while to get everybody on board, I know, but you will have less trash if you recycle. And recycle is every other week.
It's a heck of an operation. There's so much went over there in minutes that doesn't go in the landfill. It goes to the recycle.
The only time is like if there's more than like 20% contamination of the entire truck. And I haven't heard, sometimes I'll get reports of areas that have had, clothing in there that's not supposed to be, or garden hoses. We get reports of there is an auditor that looks to see what comes off the truck, and that even though we may share your recycle route with somebody else, they kind of, they know how much tonnage, or, they figure how many carts we have that we run compared to another one, and they break that down, to see, how much would be Caseyville's recycle versus, maybe this half of Collinsville or something. So. Good questions. I think I've talked to you before. Well, thank you for letting me speak. I'm sure that you'll have to think about all this, and then hopefully I can come back again. And feel free to email me if you ever have questions. And that goes for anybody. If you guys have questions tomorrow, and my address.
When is our contract up?
December 31st. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You guys are awful quiet. I wasn't prepared to get all kinds of questions, but I saw the press up there.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the appointment of Christine Ledoux to the Planning Commission.
Make a motion to appoint Kristen Ledoux to the planning commission. Second.
Nick?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
John? Yes. Citizens input.
Hello, my name is Jody Garber, and I'm the daughter of an elected member of the board. I would like to address a concern about the safety of our village employees and elected officials. There has been an ongoing pattern involving an individual who is posting about board members and village staff on social media in a way that appears intended to harm reputations. In addition, this person is repeatedly been in the parking lots of Village Hall and the police department and has followed village workers during their duties. Regardless of personal opinions or disagreements, this type of behavior raises concerns about harassment, intimidation, and workplace safety. There is also a growing perception in the community that this situation may not be addressed consistently, possibly due to the personal relationships. Whether that perception is accurate or not, it raises concerns about fairness and accountability. For example, after Chief Woody addressed the board September 3rd, 2025 with updates on former Mayor Scott Stracker's, I would suggest listening very closely at the 1 minute, 15-second mark. It sounds as if there's a seeking of approval from the chief to the individual. I would appreciate it if you took your camera off of me. Okay, anyway. I'm asking for clarification on how situations like this are handled. What policies are in place to protect employees and officials, and what role law enforcement is expected to play when conduct escalates to this level? If there are safeguards in place to prevent
Excuse me,
conflict of
man, I'm
interest-
sorry to interrupt. She's not a public official. What gives him the right to sit here in a meeting and harass her this way? Yes.
Everybody's videoing.
She's not a public official. She's not under the same thing as us.
Unfortunately, it's a public meeting. The public had it.
Give me the law that
forbids him from doing that, we'll likely take care of that.
He's on restricted.
Anyway.
By all means,
We all know that he gets paid.
I know he gets special
So
favors,
it's
okay.
fine.
He got complimented before.
We're on camera where we go. Everywhere we go.
Jody, keep going.
Go ahead.
Whatever. I'm asking for clarification on how situations like this are handled. What policies are in place to protect employees and officials, and what role law enforcement is expected to play when conduct escalates to this level. If there are safeguards in place to prevent conflicts of interest, I would ask that those be clearly communicated. This community should be a place where public servants can do their jobs without fear of being followed, videoed, or targeted. I would appreciate the board addressing this issue and outlining what steps will be taken to ensure a safe environment moving forward.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other citizens input?
You ready? Hi, my name is Deb Doty, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hand the village clerk a document from the state's attorney's office concerning January 21st, a legal closed session meeting. That's on the front page of the Attorney General's page. All you gotta do is put in Caseyville and it comes right up. I'd like to know what we were hiding in that meeting, that we went into an illegal meeting, and who should have stopped this illegal meeting. Now, when I go to the laws of the OMA, it states that the attorney is there to stop that meeting if it's illegal.
Yes, ma'am.
There's several different things that attorney is there for. Ensuring the compliance of an open meeting law, making sure that the sessions, closed sessions, are only used for legally permitted matters, and advising how a closed session meeting should go, and ensure that proper protocols and remain with legal boundaries. All these were violations at this meeting. I don't know how many people up here have had OMA training, and I don't care, but I have asked, once you take that seat up here, you have 90 days if you haven't sit there and complied with the state of Illinois and done the training. If you do not do that, you're possibly subject to a $1,500 fine, not the village, you personally. So I would suggest that if anybody up here hasn't taken it, possibly do so. You do that on the Attorney General's site. The last thing is I want to ask about the CSX railroad. Keller Farms was just given permission to proceed with their suit. And in a past meeting, Bryce, you had told us that we had dropped the suit. And I don't understand why we dropped the suit. There was no discussion of it anywhere publicly. Nobody voted to drop the suit, so how did this come about? How do we do this without voting to do this? Keller's changed their lawsuit because they were denied in the meeting. They changed it to comply with what the law would let them have. And the federal courts stated that they complied and can proceed. Now, our first suit had in there to recover losses due to having to pay our police, our fire, ambulances, which was thrown out.
Is there 3 minutes up?
But that, it doesn't matter, I can talk as long as I damn want. Shut up. you asshole.
Go ahead.
Now, with that, they sit there and said that we could redo the suit on the compliance of helping our citizens of what they lost and our losses in the village. The nursing home, people's homes out there, I mean, maybe we threw this out because it didn't affect us, or we didn't want to spend money on the lawsuit or whatever, but I don't understand why we let this go.
All I know is that the trestle was taken out, and it's Mike and Bryce are working on with the attorney for.
I mean, did they make a deal that they will keep up with
I'm not sure exactly what's.
taking care of the levy that we?
The only leverage we had was the lawsuit. It was done by the prior administration, so maybe that's part of the reason, I'm sorry. But also, why wasn't the board informed of this? Because it was October of last year, I just looked it up a few months ago. We weren't informed of it, we voted for the lawsuit originally. Why didn't we have that decision to do away with it to begin with?
Who
You
made
know, I mean, why are we
the
making these
decision?
decisions? We're
I don't
talking about
understand that.
transparency, where is it?
So the CSX, that conversation, obviously we've had a lot of back and forth with their attorney. It was a determination about some of the things that you brought up. We took a look at what the value is of a lawsuit like that, whether or not we thought we'd be successful. We didn't. It was going to be an extraordinary expense for the village to continue that litigation that was not going to be fruitful. The important segment was working with CSX to secure our levy project, and that has been successful. Those conversations are ongoing, and they are cooperating with us because of the agreement to drop our position in that lawsuit. So it was strategic, it was purposeful, it was not sort of a poo-poo at a previous administration or anything like that. This was in the best interest of the village.
Then why wasn't it brought before the board for the board to know about what the process was going to be and what would be the best process? Because there was no communication, and if there was, did you know anything about it? I sure didn't know anything about it.
Who did know about it to be able to say?
I go through the court records on a lot of things, and I found stuff. And I have a lot of people in the courthouse, in different courthouses in federal, that I know and I can go to ask about different things.
Where's the
Keller's pursuing
transparency?
his.
This is transparency, to tell the people why we're not pursuing something
A federal
that
judge
affects
okayed-
everybody that was flooded.
I know.
Everybody that was flooded.
Federal judge okayed them for his crops.
That's
We
all.
had way more than that. We had levee repairs, we had people's homes
All
flooded, we
the
had all
dirt
kinds
was
of
brought
things.
in. How
But
much
we
did all
just
that
decided
cost?
it wasn't beneficial for the village by somebody, but it wasn't the board.
Wasn't the lawsuit, didn't we only state the vacant lots that were flooded and the dirt on those lots?
Yes, I went to that hearing. I went to that federal hearing, and
So we didn't.
our lots that had nothing on there, we weren't going to get
We
it.
didn't try to
Dirt.
recoup financials.
I went to that hearing.
Nobody in this whole village that was
Vacant
flooded
lots.
had
Not
put
for the
any money
residents
out.
who were-
At all? At all? I know when we were flooded down on Brookside, it came through my door. We put out a lot of money.
Do you live in that flood area?
I did.
Why-
That's why I
why
moved.
does-
No, I moved.
Okay,
Hold on, man, you let this lady talk for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, okay? I can't answer questions.
Order. Come on. All right, any other citizens input?
Hell, yeah. I was in on that, but Mr. Bartley, you don't even live in a flood area. You said you wish those people was flooded, you don't care about the people. And this thing, you don't live in a flood. Man, I heard you say
If
it.
you can't come up here and start, I'm not gonna let you sit there and spend your life, I'm just gonna let these guys cater to you,
I'm
buddy.
answering this question for you guys. You just talked about it. This woman had 40 minutes of her talking. She don't live in a flood
I don't
area.
care what you say, but you're not gonna make false lies and
All right,
try.
let Billy give us your 3 minutes, and then.
Man, you don't get away with 3 minutes, you're gonna get to her. All right, this around your administration is one-sided. You only favor certain people. You understand me? These people here are talking about the flood area. I've lived in that flood area. That's how all this got started. You understand me? Okay, I was against the lawsuit. I was against it. I lost stuff in that flood. That's how all this got started. If you guys don't know, you new people don't know about this, okay? Because I started all that stuff. Doug Stewart started that lawsuit. He didn't know, he don't have to answer nothing. I'm letting me speak my 3 minutes or 35 minutes. That lawsuit there, with Doug, it was a first lawsuit Doug Stewart started out with. I don't know how they got where they're at. But anyway, he was part of the problem. $200,000 he returned his money, he's gone, okay?
At least he knew what he was doing.
But, really? That's why he's not here no more. He didn't know what he was doing.
Well, we had an attorney decide in a closed session that didn't know what he was doing.
Okay, come up.
Hold on, I'm gonna say one thing. Let me tell you what, I got involved in this bill, I come to these debates 4 years ago, because my home was flooded, you understand? These people here don't know nothing about it. And I was, well, you don't know nothing, okay? And don't speak while I'm trying to talk. This man here was in on it. I did that stuff.
I was in it in the flood of 95, so don't even go there, buddy.
What?
I'm sorry, you're kidding me.
Let me say this. So that's how I got involved in this, okay? And then I've been attacked by the administration. I still get over Texas put against me. Some all these people. This woman here just put one against me 2 months ago. She tried. She said I tried to rape her daughter and kidnap her grandkids.
I don't if you want to see it.
How did you find that out? How would you know that she did that?
It's called records. It's called records.
There's no court
It's
record.
called record.
How would you know to even look for that then?
Because I looked my
There would
record.
only be 2 people that would know that in the police department.
It would. Oh, you tell me. Well, anyway, I
Well,
want
you
to
tell me, because somebody had to tell you.
Why are you speaking? I'm not. You're taking.
No, I'm asking you because
I don't
you want to know. I want to know answers too. How would you know that there wasn't?
I don't listen,
Come on.
Bring it out.
Listen, guy, don't talk. Okay, sit down. These guys, you know, these people here. This girl talking about me. This girl here talking about me for 40 minutes. I'm gonna say. I said I'm planning on coming here speaking.
I didn't say Billy Hayes' name. I said an individual.
Stop these people, please, so I can talk. I have no right. I don't plan. I have no plans for their speaking until you let these people finish. I'm gonna say this. I believe in God, and I think what we need here is the community to come together. I'm gonna go to night home tonight and pray for these people in this community and the people who came here. And I'm serious. This community needs some healing. We need to be brought together instead of all this feud right here. Everybody in this feud. We don't need this, guys. We need love and come together. That's what we need. Instead of community fighting. So this administration needs us to start bringing this together instead of feud. You guys have been together 1 year here, the new administration. It's time for you guys to bring us together and be a more of a family community than be a distance. There you go.
Any other
Just need to
citizens?
give him his job and you'll be fine.
No one's ever promised him a job. No one on this board.
Okay.
Thank you. Rebecca Tate, I want to piggyback on what Deb was saying. That's going to be a first, right? So I agree. There are trainings that you all need to do. And the OMA, I didn't know it was 90 days.
Yeah.
But there is the ethics training that you have to do. It's mandatory 30 days after you raise your hand and take office. It is true, Dave. It is 100%. Would you tell him it's
Yes,
true?
it is,
Thank
Dave.
you.
It is
Yeah.
true.
No, it's true. Tell
Yes,
him.
it is
30 days. How come everybody on the board then, Dave, but you and the mayor didn't do it? I FOIA'd it, and I believe our FOIA officer does a good job, and I received it, and only the 2 of you did not do it. You had 30 days, and you did not do it. And I have your email. I'll share it. I'll email it to you. It says that you have never done one or been required. When you raised your hand and took this position, you were required. So it looks like that's what needs to start happening is when you guys have things you're supposed to do to be sitting up here, it sounds like from what I'm hearing this evening, you need to start doing it. Start following the rules. Start doing what you're supposed to do. It does say it, tell them, you have to do it yearly, so it's coming up again.
The OMA is only one time per.
But not the ethics training and that. Correct. Thank you. Yeah. And she ran, so she knows. Thank you.
Any other citizens input?
So we're getting these vehicles labeled. Got them labeled yet?
Can you state your name, sir?
Kurt Tate. I live next to the landfill on Hollywood Heights Road. So where we at with this? Got them labeled?
I didn't hear what you said.
I live next,
About that part, I said you.
I live next to the landfill on
No, you
Hollywood
said
Heights
you
Road.
were that.
My name?
No, you asked.
No, the question.
Okay, well,
Sorry.
I'll start from the beginning.
Yes.
Do we have vehicles labeled yet that we've been in question for 5 months?
I believe we've got the stickers in, didn't we, Brian?
They're in his office, yes.
And when did those come in? Because the April 13th FOIA I did after he said they were on back order showed that you ever never ordered any. So, when did that come in?
We picked that up last Thursday.
I think
So
so.
they weren't on back order. You made that up? So if you guys are lying about something as petty as this shit, what else are you lying about?
Any other citizens input?
Oh, I do. I got one question. Just a quick.
Can you come up to the microphone?
Oh, sure.
I forgot to add that.
when you vote tonight on this closed session meeting, which I hope will be yes, because the Attorney General will not be happy, but when the yes vote does come, I suggest that you either put that video out to the public on the website, or have it where we can get it, but no charge. It's a free meeting. Nobody should be charged for it.
Any other citizens input?
I don't want to get up here now. I'd like to make mine real quick. I only have one question to the attorney. It's 106 South Main. Can you give me a report?
I don't have an update for you on 106 South Main Street.
That's fine. This is unrelated, but I've got here's a letter from the Council Administration, previous attorney. This was filed 3/4/22 on this piece of property. And it goes on and says here, the village will place a lien on your property in amount of cost to the village. What goes on until then that's 2022. Then I have a letter here filed with the Recorder of Deeds. It says, this property constitutes immediate and continuing hazard to the community. It also said about filing liens, and I'm not going to read it all, but there's the copies of it. And I understand you paid the bill for $1,800 or something on that. You got to have tore down this pile. I don't know why the zoning administrator isn't up here addressing this. And it's not my place to come up here to complain about a pile of junk 10 foot tall next door to my property. And I did check, there's no liens for the $1,800. Even if you did pay the bill $1,800, I see no liens in that pile on that property. So maybe you can let me know where we stand.
I'll get an update
It's
for
4
you.
years old, I think.
Yes, sir.
I didn't sign in, but my name is Terry Reitzel. And I have two comments. One, I do think we should have mandatory recycling with our garbage pickup. We've been recycling for over 20 years, and every week we take a small bag and put it in that huge container for the garbage, but every other week we've got a full tub, full tote of recyclables that I've been assured are making it to where they need to go to be recycled. So just want to say I'm glad I was here tonight, got to hear her presentation earlier, and certainly as a citizen I would advocate for that. The second thing is I wanted to thank the board and the attorney for all the work in moving us toward being able to solve the levy issue. So thank you very much for the strategic efforts that needed to go into that. I know it's been coming for a long time, and I'm glad that we're finally at a point where moving forward, hopefully, people can be assured that their property will be safe.
Any other citizens input? Citizens input. Okay, we're going to new business. Administration.
Motion to approve or deny Resolution 2613, authorizing the release of the closed meeting minutes and verbatim records, recording the closed meeting minutes held on January 21st, 2026. And I would amend that motion or that resolution to add, give that documentation away at no cost. I make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Nick?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Make a motion to approve Resolution 2614, a resolution authorizing and maintaining confidentiality of all closed session meetings for relevant board meetings and committee meetings. I make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Nick?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Finance.
Make a motion to approve Resolution 2615, a resolution approving the adjustments to previous approved appropriation. Make that motion.
Second. Any discussion? So we're reappropriating, if my understanding when I talked to Tamara, is this correct? $341,000 and adjusting accounts and things because of spending on certain things to put into other categories to cover that legally, I guess. Is that correct interpretation?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is something we do every year.
Yes.
And it was on purchases mainly of vehicles and things that we didn't really have the funding for, but we overspent on, so we adjusted, right?
That is correct. The major items that we're adjusting are the Tahoes that we bought in the police department, which the board knew at the time that those weren't in the 2026 appropriations and would have to be adjusted. And then similarly with the used fire truck that we bought last summer, I think. So that is about $250,000 of the change.
So we just basically recreate another phony account, kind of ways like our appropriation, to cover what we're going to spend, even that we may not spend too much, but...
Not at all. This actually represents a zero net change to our appropriations because we have other line items that we did not exceed. So we have the capacity to move that legal spending limit around.
But we moved them into fire and all these different categories to cover
Everything was
overtures
not
on
in the fund. And I would use that as a catalyst to say, if the board decided to change to a budget in the future instead of appropriations, instead of budgeting at the line item like this, we would either budget at an object of expenditure level or at the department level. So in that case, we would not have needed to do these. But because we're managing to this degree of detail, that's why this is required.
Okay.
It might have been a better business practice to adjust the appropriations at the time that we approved the purchase of these vehicles, but we knew we were going to do this at the end of the fiscal year anyway, so we would deliberately.
Nick.
No.
Dave.
Yes.
Matt.
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Ron.
Yes.
John. No.
Motion to approve ordinance 2026-11, making the annual appropriation for the village of Caseyville, St. Clair County, Illinois, fiscal year commencing on the first day of June 2026 and ending the 31st day of May 27. I make that motion.
May I make a point of order, ma'am? This is a duplicate resolution number, Cindy, on your agenda. I think I messed you up. There's two number 11s.
No, one's 2611, this one's 202611.
Oh, got it, okay.
Okay, I know it's confusing, but yeah.
I read it right.
Yeah, you read it right.
The motion's been made.
Second.
Any discussion? Nick.
No.
Dave.
Yes.
Matt.
Yes.
Dan.
No.
Ron.
Yes.
John.
No.
Yes. Planning and zoning.
A motion to approve deny resolution 26-12, a resolution authorizing the issuance of a business license to Caseyville Car Wash LLC located at 14 Skate Street, Caseyville, Illinois 62232, contingent upon background check, inspections, and zoning approval. I believe all that's been done. So I will make a motion to approve that. Second.
Any discussion? Nick.
Yes.
Dave.
Yes.
Matt.
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Ron.
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Motion to approve deny resolution 26-11, a resolution authorizing the issuance of a solicitor's permit to Pro Pyro 8 located at 2732 Progress Avenue, Lot 3, next to KFC for sale of consumer fireworks from June 27, 2026 to July 6, 2026. Not door-to-door soliciting for sales. This is a fixed spot. Just so everyone's aware, it's more of a business license than a solicitor's license. I'd like to make a motion to approve that. Second.
Any discussion? Nick?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
John? Yes. All right. Correspondence.
Nothing, sir.
Approval of the bills.
All right. General fund, $81,442.07. Fire protection, $2,511.21. Community building, $2,082.40. Motor fuel, $928.90. Tanglewood, no parks, $1,558.18. I-64 Business District, $45,647. Water bill, $176,565.06. 8 cents. And drainage, work today. DEA seizures, $4,699.50.
92.
92, yeah.
Did you get my sheet or just a class?
No, that's why my brain is not working right now.
Those are local day.
Well, do you want to pick it up?
Okay. Hotel motel tax, $4,568.50. Or that's state forfeiture. The hotel and motel tax, let's see. Okay. You were right. Okay, so TIF. TIF is next one.
TIF.
$7,346.75. TIF 4, $742.04. Cemetery, $2,511 for a grand total of $330,583.10. I make a motion bills be drawn from proper accounts and paid.
Second. Nick?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
John? Present. Okay. Chief? Sorry.
I got a couple stats from last month. We had a total of 157 service calls, 85 traffic stops, 13 felony arrests, and 9 traffic crashes. I'm sure some of you are aware of the whole Forest Boulevard ordeal. We recently issued a citation to an individual, or multiple citations for illegal dumping. And then if you saw on Facebook today, there was a pursuit that ended, and we got the guy in custody. And that's about all I have.
Good job.
Yeah.
Superintendent?
That Forest Boulevard, the dumping there, Bobby Allen from the county contacted me. They had the cameras up and contacted Joseph Howe. Detective Howe did a great job. He had that done like within a day. So I'm commend him on that.
Thank the police department for doing it. Thanks, guys. We all thank you.
The south entrance of Monument, we've been working on, trying to get that looking back in shape by the hotel. I've been mowing the village, owned properties, and all the right-of-ways. They've been doing the water services and been doing general maintenance on the stormwater and sanitary lift station. That's it tonight.
Okay. Chairman? All right. So the first I'll speak to, just probably brought this up and said it as well, with the transparency for CSX. Understood. That's something that certainly could have been communicated and wasn't, and I understand that has opened the door for some questions. So I'll prepare some remarks for the next meeting to kind of have that discussion moving forward. Keep that in mind, that that's the kind of transparency we're talking about, and we want to make sure that everyone's on the same page. So that is an area we drop the ball. Talk about the Open Meetings Act. So obviously the minutes are going to be available, the video is going to be available for you all to take a look at. This isn't a matter of hiding anything. Whatever decision was going to be made was going to be a public decision. The determination from the Attorney General was sort of twofold. The first was real, and the second was sort of assumed what we must have been talking about. So when we went into the session, it was premised upon discussions on administration and workforce in the village. That was incorrect. What should have been said is that it was for legal issues. The Attorney General's office sort of accepted that was probably where we were going. Obviously, it was the response that we gave them. But the Attorney General said that they didn't think it was immediate and pressing, which would be where it needs to be for the closed session to be proper. I do, as it stands today, still disagree with that determination, but that is their determination. Since that meeting took place, the individual we were concerned about, which again you'll see in that transcript in the video, has obtained an attorney and done everything but file a complaint in court. So we've had meetings with them, we've had conversations. As recent as today, there's been communications within the village, talking to the treasurer about how to deal with some of the issues that are ongoing there. So what we met on was not a fabricated issue. It wasn't something that wasn't legally pressing and has only escalated since that time. Take the point, the Attorney General disagrees that that's important or important enough to justify a closed meeting. So wanted to explain that. As always, I stick around after the meeting. If you want to come up and talk to me about that, I'm happy to explain my rationale. Lastly, we need to edit some of the language that pertaining to the water department for start service, end service, as well as some of the delinquent bills. So there's the language is there, but it's not real tight, and we want to clean up the language. If someone vacates a property, doesn't pay the bill, and then want to start service back up at the property, it's kind of wishy-washy as to how that works. How does the village get the money that it's owed? So we're going to tighten up some of that language. You'll see that in the ordinance in the near future. I'd like to add that to the next agenda. That is all I have. Thank you.
Need a motion to adjourn.
Well, I have a question for the attorney, another one. You've changed law firms now from Plainboard Wagner to Wagner and Whitfield. Why aren't we informed of that either?
A letter was issued to all of our clients, so a letter would have been sent. From a functional standpoint, we were Claiborne Wagner. It was two partners. It was Mr. James Claiborne and Michael Wagner. They have split from one another. Mr. Claiborne was not involved with any of the legal matters here in town. I'm not sure anyone on the board ever actually interacted with him.
Well, the contract that we originally had last year was for Claiborne and Wagner. So my thought was if you change firms, then the board should have been notified, and maybe some were, and maybe some aren't, because I know I wasn't. Sure. And so I can speak for myself, and I know there's a lot that, and I don't care to be involved in, but on things like this, if you're representing the village and the board, then the entire board should know.
Sure.
Not maybe just those that voted for your administration or your attorney's office or whatever. And there's reasons why I don't. And there's reasons why I vote present, because of things that I see that I don't like. And that's why it's not that I don't know what's going on with the bills and that. I choose to vote present because I'm not putting my name on it. It's not because I'm ignorant to the fact of what's going on with the bills, regardless of what everybody claims. So I'm drawing a line with all the crap that's been being said and going out, and I've got the documentation on things, and there's a lot of other things. And we'll go over them slowly too, because there's been a lot of things being hid.
Sure. So, Mr. Brother, there wasn't little communications that went to certain board members and not to others regarding our change in our law firm's name. We did change locations. We're 2 blocks down the road. We do have a different EIN. That is true. But when Mike Wagner was appointed as the village attorney, he was appointed the village attorney, and he worked at the law firm of Claiborne and Wagner. His appointment still stands. He is still the appointed village attorney. Our underlying name changed. When I talk about a letter that went out, we sent a letter out to all of our client list. So if we had 500 clients, a letter went out to the clients. It would have been to the village of Caseyville proper. It wouldn't have been addressed to one trustee or 3 trustees and not 3 others.
Well, why was it that we voted for Claiborne Wagner and not just Wagner then? Because the contract states the law firm of Claiborne and Wagner and so and so.
And then on the front page of your paperwork, it has Mike Wagner as the attorney. So he was present there as the, that's where he was, I guess, working as the owner, and he carried on his files to his subsequent firm.
I agree with John on this. I asked this question myself to the mayor last month. And if you change names, we had a contract with the one name and different license, it should have been brought to the board for board's attention and to the open public. You know, that way it doesn't look like something was trying to be hidden.
And should it be re-voted on?
Well, I appointed Mike Wagner, I didn't appoint Claiborne Wagner. And
Well, then the contract should have said Mike Wagner is attorney, not Claiborne and Wagner. So then the verbiage or a new contract should just say appointment of Wagner and Lickfield or Wagner or however it is. It's all the verbiage.
You guys take over Claiborne Wagner's accounts and everything else. So
Claiborne Wagner was James Claiborne and Mike Wagner, both as partners in that venture. His contracts went with them. So I don't think anyone's necessarily disagreeing with that. I think the disagreement is about if you have to restart and have another contract as a result of the.
I mean, the major thing is with a different EIN number, you can't collect payment from the old EIN number, correct?
That's correct.
So how did that happen?
It would be updated.
If you guys got a new EIN number, if it was updated in the system, why didn't we vote on it?
No, our contract wasn't updated.
Right.
The contract was not ordered, that's correct. The contract transferred over one to the other. It certainly is something that the board can take up if it so chooses.
I just think we should be informed of things. If we're being represented the way we're supposed to be represented, then we should be represented by letter. We should be something. I mean, there should be a trail then. I don't care if it's a text, but just word of mouth or something like that. That doesn't cut it in this stuff. I mean,
Mr. Buckley, I assure you, we sent letters to all of our clients. I understand it.
I know, but I'm basically a client. I'm a citizen here, and I'm also on the board here. You know, you work for the village,
yes, sir,
and us as a board. We should be informed.
And maybe that should be something that
I don't feel I'm out of line asking this because, I mean, there's so many things that just aren't being brought out that.
I don't think you're out of line asking that. Maybe the correspondence should have been run out during the correspondence portion of the meeting. That's possible. But this wasn't something that was hidden. This wasn't. It has been talked about openly in other conversations, but it was something that the village was notified. That wasn't trying to pull the wool over.
Did you receive the letter?
No, I did not. In fact, I didn't even know about it till the Monday after it happened, and I went to send an email, and I got a different email address. That's how I found out about it.
I just think when it comes to the attorney's moment in time here, that it should have been expressed then, if nothing else. In a public meeting, that would be fine. It's all recorded. It's documented in minutes. We switch law firms from, Claiborne Wagner. We're now Wagner Lickfield or whoever we are, and it should have been stated at least in the meeting or something sent to board members who are also involved in it, knowing who's representing us.
Understood.
It sounds to me like there's a little bit of an internal thing going on here. A letter was sent. You did your due diligence to notify the village who received the letter, who opened the letter, and who failed to distribute the letter to the board.
It would have been just a singular letter.
No,
Again, it wouldn't have been a single letter.
The letter was FOIA.
Yeah. The letter was FOIA. We got it.
When was it FOIA? I didn't get a FOIA on it.
Stuff that was emailed to me showed a copy of the letter. That was FOIA.
I didn't get a FOIA for it, so I'm not sure where that came from.
I guess it was something else. Interesting.
Nobody got anything else?
Probably just got a letter and someone did. How they get it? Y'all should have had it.
I didn't get one.
I want there would have been one letter to the village. It would not have been individual.
Yeah, but who would it have?
It would have been whoever wrote to this address.
Whoever wrote
Did you see the letter?
I think it's on camera now.
Travis would have to lock down the building.
Travis, we just started an investigation on who stole the letter right now.
Okay, thank you. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Nick?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Matt? Dan?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
John? Yes. All right, we're going to the committee. Administration.
As was approved tonight, we'll be spending $10,000 on an upgrade for up to $10,000 for an upgrade on the website. Documents will be live, calendar will be kept live. We'll more follow the next meeting so we can submit this out to bids.
Okay. That'll follow me out.
Okay.
Yes.
Sanitation. Emergency management. That's so much
Yes, emergency management. St. Clair County is doing away with the notification system. Code Red, I believe is what it was called. They've not got the new system 100% up and running. It will be shortly. When that information is available to us, when you can switch over from Code Red to the new notification system, we will inform all of you and put it out on our website or on our village stuff here so that people know how to sign up for the new notification for tornadoes, severe weather, all that kind of stuff. So that will be coming up shortly.
Finance.
Also talked about today was park claims, and we'll be requesting quotes for new playground equipment. The playground equipment down at the city village park is roughly 26 years old, so it is long overdue. So we will get that completed this year as well. I'll send an email out to everybody. You can see the email that I received on the 30th of April. The playground equipment is not cheap, and this was just a spam email that was sent out just to get a quick brochure. Everybody will have that at close of business today.
Boards.
Nothing nice.
I got a few things I want to turn in here. Being we got special use permit time coming up, and business license time coming up, and we have new container laws. So I'm gonna give these to the clerk with descriptions and everything. Containers, residential yards, and everything else. So there's 4 or 5 of the biggest ones that I've been contacted on by people that are tired of looking at them. So I'll submit those and get those where they need to go, I guess.
That'd be under zoning. I know the one there at the old funeral home, they have sent a letter to that property owner. There's been no permits pulled for any construction on that building yet, so that one is going to need to be getting out of there soon or going to start getting fined.
Yeah, I talked to the ordinance officer about that one right there, and it's in progress. It's been that way for years and years.
Half a dozen people still tell me about that place, and I'm tired of listening to it, so there they are.
Planning and zoning.
We did get one number in for the 422 South Main. It was a little extreme, so we did put that back out on the village website. We have at least one, possibly 2 more numbers that were supposed to be coming in that didn't make it in yet. So we'll put that back out for bid. Hopefully we'll get something wrapped up with that soon. We are moving forward on the one on Suzanne Court also. So that should be coming up here shortly for abatement. I think probably not this coming meeting, but the next meeting. Well, what was the number we got in on the next one? It was with the mobile home and the cleanup, I think 28.5.
You want it?
I got it right here. But I was actually, for the mobile home and the cleanup for the pile next to the mobile home is 28.5 total. 2,900 for the extra cleanup. So that is a little extreme. I think our highest.
That's very extreme.
Yeah, to date, I think it's been a little over 16,000 for our highest demo for any residential. So it is a bad location, but hopefully we'll get some better numbers on the next.
Hey, why would the village tear that down? I'm gonna ask you a question. Why would the village do that? I mean, do that stuff?
Probably a liability, isn't it?
We've done a trailer before, but much smaller. Manpower.
That trailer was only 65 foot long, small.
No, that might be something we have to look at if we don't get any regional bids here in the near future.
Right, but it's 20,000, it's crazy.
Also have the planning and zoning report for April. We got Prop 25, occupancy inspections last month, reviewed 3 new single-family home permits, 1 residential roof project was halted until permitted, 1 rooftop solar project came through, ongoing inspections for continued construction across the village. Currently reading through codes and ordinances, bringing to the committee for review, possibly update some of our ordinances. Received certified training webinar for FEMA NFIP to stay in compliance with, I'm sorry, for our flood mitigation program partnership. And we have the zoning board of appeals meeting got rescheduled for May 19th for solar project at South End, taking actions on illegal dumping, various right-of-ways, violations, clearing utilities. And that's all I have.
Police.
Yes, we're having some issues with cars parking where they're not supposed to be parking. So I'd like to put it on the agenda to discuss and vote on next meeting to add no parking signs to, and Cindy, I'll give you this information here, but I'll read it now from Chief Hall. 3rd Street between Williams and Cole Street, Suzanne Court, Tucker Drive, in Old Country Inn Drive. We'd like to add some no parking signs to those areas to alleviate some of this illegal parking on the streets and everything. So if we could put that on the agenda for the next meeting, then I will issue you, send you the addresses of those areas. Other than that, nothing else on the police.
Between zoning and police,
Deb had a question. Go ahead.
can we discuss zoning and police building? What are we gonna do with the old police station?
Yeah, I thought that was going to go on the list of properties for sale, so that should be something.
I don't know if we can handle that. I mean, he's a sell, well, he doesn't sell commercial. We can ask him. Apartments.
We took $28,000 to tear down that trailer. It's going to be $100,000 to tear down that old building.
It's gonna cost $100,000 for the village to maintain that police station, and we know it has mold, we know it has leaks, leaking roof, we know whatever's been publicly stated in the past 2 years. You know, I'm up.
Well, we had an auction service that was going to look at auctioning it off for us, and we pulled that off to try to sell it through a realtor. So we need to decide and do something. Just letting it sit is the worst thing for it. So whatever we want to do, we want to auction it off, or we want to try to sell it through realtor first, because tearing it down doesn't do us any good. We're wasting money to tear it down, and we're not getting anything back for it. So if we could sell it and somebody could utilize the property, revamp the property, we could gain revenue from it. Even if we sell it for next to nothing, as long as somebody does something with the building, that's the priority.
Maybe the realtor might be able to take us in the right direction.
We'll get a hold, I'll get a hold of him tomorrow. and see
Also,
what we can-
on police, I spoke with Chief Hall last week about getting the radar sign put on Lionel Court. There's a lot of speeding going on through that area. So hopefully that's getting ready to make it out. I know he's going to get charged up and make sure everything's working properly. So hopefully that'll be out here shortly. And put it out there for a little while and maybe move around some of the other hot spots.
Hill Road.
East O'Fallon Road.
All the roads.
Alley Patch Road.
I got a question on them signs.
Yes.
Do we have to go through an ordinance to add signs?
Right, that's, I think you brought that up to.
Yeah, it's got to go through ordinance.
Yeah,
That's why I wanted on the agenda for next meeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Public Works.
I don't have anything at the moment, you got anything, Brian?
Special events?
Special events. June 27th, which is Saturday, for the fireworks, for a total cost of $18,750. And it will take place approximately 9:30 p.m., weather permitting.
And I'll piggyback on this special events with the citywide cleanup. So what we've elected to do to get this started is we will be placing 3 dumpsters throughout town. One will be at the old police station, one will be at City Garage, and the other one will be on Bermuda, right?
On,
Is it Bermuda? I've got it right here.
Botanical.
Botanical, sorry.
It's down the street.
Got my B's mixed up. On Botanical. That's on the 23rd of this month. I know that's Memorial Weekend, everybody. I know I plan on doing a lot of work around my house that weekend, so hopefully people will take advantage of the situation and bring their stuff to these dumpsters to help clean up their yards. We will have a list on the website of the items that you cannot bring. Also, along with that list is mostly, you can't bring electronics to these dumpsters. So Ryan was kind enough to do some checking and found a location down off of Collinsville Road. We will issue that address out for people that accept the electronics, where you can take all your electronic type things down to that location if you have those that you need to get rid of.
And it's free.
And it's free.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
all
free.
free. Our
All
dumpsters are free and electronics are free. Yes. So,
That's what I need you to talk to you about, on that list that you have,
yes,
on that second page where it says go to see the list.
yeah.
At the bottom, it states, you have to look at it again, but it states something about make sure you put your stuff out by the curb.
That list came from the trash service.
But that's-
They also made a mistake and put basketball poles as 30 inches instead of
Yeah.
3 inches.
But
So
somebody's
they're-
gonna
yeah,
be
yeah, we
confused
will
with
correct
that.
all those before it goes out.
Yes.
When it goes out on the, Tamara pointed out to me the 30 inches compared to, or 30 foot compared to 3 inches. That came from the trash service. So we will correct their errors when we post it on the website or on the area. So please take it, spread the word, take advantage of it. The 3 40-yard dumpsters, somewhat strategically located for people to be able to use if they have things that they need to get rid of and the trash service doesn't take on a normal basis.
How long will the dumpsters be out there?
They're delivered on Thursday or Friday and picked up on Monday. Tuesday. Monday's the holiday, thank you. So they will be there for at least 3-4 days.
Dave, I want to add on to that also. The recycling bin over at the city garage, I'm sure a lot of people here may use it if they don't use recycling service. I do myself have recycling, but I do recycle boxes there. I don't know if there's any way we can put a sign over there by the city garage. I've gone there multiple times. There's non-recyclable items that are left there. There's trash, there's yard waste. Can we put something out there to make sure that we don't have abandoned trash that's there?
Well, there's going to be a dumpster right there.
I'm saying,
I'm going to get a sign up there, but
I'm going.
hopefully we can use that dumpster to clean up anything that's left by the recycle.
Can we put that on the police page too, that citywide cleanup? And then a list of everything, where the locations are on that?
Or somebody else wants to send me that, I'll post it.
It's on the website.
Is it,
That's all I've got.
I don't have anything.
Well, the cemetery meeting was canceled last, the 27th because of weather. It's going to be tomorrow, Monday night. And before we leave,
Monday night or?
this Monday. And before we leave, I want to assure you guys that this new administration is not hiding anything. If anybody in this board has anything, please share it.
It makes it look bad when you get a letter from the Attorney General.
You know what, Deb, I said, let's go on to personnel, I'll take that.
Yeah. I mean,
This is
My-
the
my
first
fault.
letter. There's a constituent in the village of Caseyville is waiting on a binding opinion from years ago. So this isn't the first time the village or any other local government agency received a binding opinion. You can go on the government's website and see them quite regularly.
We've been here for
8
60
ago.
years, we know exactly how it's gone.
I'm sorry.
So, it's happened many times.
Right.
Yeah.
And if we were hiding
Thanks for saying
anything,
that.
But there's, you know, let's just go down here. There's two tips. One individual said they're not gonna pay it back, and there's $50,000 on that. We've reduced it from $98,000 to $50,000. Not we, the village of Caseyville, okay? The other one, there's another business owner who owes $100,000+. He was making payments, stopped making payments. There's a potential lawsuit from one individual. Period.